Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pikmin 2. In the last episode we came here to the very depths of the Subterranean Complex, here to meet the game's cruelest enemy. It's just so nasty in so many ways. I'm going to leave Louie with the Pikmin. Oh, no, I said leave Louie with the Pikmin. What the fuck are you doing, guys? Basically, there's two of these nasty enemies wandering around the place, and I want to do what I can to... Well, someone got killed. Great. Oh, fuck, it's here already! So, this thing is a Gatling Groink, and I want nothing to do with it. Oh, fucking two of them. Great, wonderful. So one of them patrols on the earth level, the other one's in a kind of turret there. There are a number of ways you can damage them. One of them is to basically shove bomb rocks into them, which can work surprisingly well. You basically need to hit them a couple of times. Can they hit each other? They cannot. Ugh. Basically, you can shove bomb rocks towards it, and you'll notice their shots are actually doing pretty minimal damage to Olimar. Almost nothing. They knock me over, sure, but... Oh, these two on top of each other is just nasty. Right, fuck this. I'm going elsewhere. I need to let them move apart. They can absolutely wreck you. You'll also notice this floor is fucking lined with explosives. This floor is cruel and evil. Oh no, you Gatling Groink bastard. Right, okay. No, not taking any prisoners here. Burp him and take him straight the fuck out. Cannot risk him. Gatling Groinks. We didn't see it there, fortunately. Much like red spotty bullbears, they have the ability to regenerate. When they're dead, they will come back to life unless you stop them from regenerating explicitly by taking them back to the onion. That is not a risk I ever want to take, therefore I will, where I can, kill them by burping. You can basically kind of jeb it by just pushing bomb rocks towards them and then detonating them is a pretty good way of taking them up safely, because bomb rocks do pretty minimal damage to your captains, as do Gatling Groinks, so actually captains are a good way of handling them. But I have burps for this reason exactly. Let's burp this guy and throw Pikmin onto him again. That's not going to actually quite kill him, because I have not managed to get enough Pikmin up there, which is problematic. Come on! Cool, he's dead. He does blow up. The blowing up is just an animation, but you will notice, much like as a spotty bullbear, he has a health bar, and that health bar will regenerate. And I need to observe everyone here. So basically, he needs to go back to the onion, like, now, because otherwise he's regenerating pretty fast. I just need to make sure there's no explosives in the way, because... Oh, they're all over there. Excellent. Cool, we got the Groinks taken out. That's... I can relax a bit more on this floor now. I can't relax, can't let my guard down, but it's certainly... We've taken care of the hard part. For 100 quid there is another transistor, the Indomitable CPU. Right, I now want to slap everyone safely back in a corner again, and it's time to... What the... Okay, I guess we're doing this then. I just want to take out these remaining bomb rocks safely with Louie. Both my captains are not looking particularly hot at the moment. There is an upgrade that gives us more... Well, not more health, but more defense, which we can get to, and it's actually a relatively easy cave. I just haven't done it yet, partly because I just want to, mix things up and show you how dangerous this game can get, so I decided to do the Subterranean Complex, which is one of the harder caves in the game. It's definitely, I'd say, the hardest one we've got access to. Potentially the other one here in the Valley of Repose is just as hard, but I wouldn't say it's harder. They're both pretty equal. Right, let's try and take up this Dirigibug with everyone. Dangerous move, Doctor. Let's not do that. Right, let's take my non-essential Pikmin, so I'll take my yellows and my reds. Yes, I'm that brutal that I categorize their lives so simply. So let's take out the Dirigibug, get him down. Oh, he's fallen in a bad position. But at least we've got more dudes here to attack him. We might be able to get him before he goes off again. Yeah, wonderful. Excellent. Right. Now, we basically just clean up the floor, which is pretty good. Oh, there's a bloody bomb rock that's somehow not gone off yet. And I'm trapped. There we go. I quite like the industrial look of this thing, and it makes sense with all the, the industrial items you get here as well. And its boss is conceptually really cool, it's a cool design, and it's not too bad if you're careful. But it can fuck you if you're not expecting it. It's another classic case of less is more in Pikmin. If you charge against this boss with a large group of Pikmin, it will fucking destroy everything you hold dear, and it is... Traumatic doesn't even begin to cover what it's like when this enemy rips into you. we are hopefully going to avoid that. But I said that with Emperor Bobplex, and he wrecked us, so... Oh, yes, got all the Mitites straight up. Wonderful. Right, let's... Oh, that's a Dweevil, 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 Dweevil. Get the fuck away from me. No, run faster, Pikmin. There we go, cool. This is why I say you can't let your guard down in this game, because if you let your guard down, this game will fuck you. Because that's the kind of game this is. Don't get me wrong, I'm talking shit about it. I like that about this game, that it does keep you on edge in that way, but it can still be deeply problematic sometimes. Right, let's get this can of fish from over here. I think it's fish. It looks like a fish can, doesn't it? Yeah, sardines in it. And then there's one more... Was that a Dweevil? That was a fucking Dweevil. Is every treasure gonna... Oh no! Fucking... Oh, I lost one white Pikmin. Fuck, that could have been bad. Man, I need to set the Dweevils off manually first, but see, this is where the game's clever. You can't set the Dweevils off first, because it's when you pick up the treasure, so you need to be aware. You cannot let your guard down. It's good, but it's rough. Right. So, for 130 quid, the perfect container, and I believe there's soybean oil. Is that a thing? Sardines and soybean oil? Either way, let's get this final piece, which... Why does everyone separate out so much? The flowers, man, keep up with me. There's your final bit. I'm just going to also open up this final egg. Everyone is flowered, but I wouldn't say no to free sprays, but there are no free sprays, and we're running a little low on burps. Right, I'm prepared for it to drop a Dweevil on me. Yep, whoa! That Dweevil went to the moon. That was bizarre. Well, either way, he'll die there. Once the health timer started, it can't stop. Cool. Right, with him dead, let's get everyone on there. Oh, balls. Let's put him there. You can go back with it. Everyone's happy. I don't think any more crap gets dropped on us anyway. I don't know why I sent Louis back with it. It just might be important, you know? At least he's here in case of emergency. I don't know what that emergency would be, but there we go. So, final treasure of the floor. This is, for 60 quid, the Furious Adhesive. What a great name. And down we go. Time to take on the boss. Apparently there's only 8 floors in this. This is why I thought there were only 8 floors. There's a rest level before the end, and it's got quite a lot of stuff in it. And this is actually where it's pretty worthwhile. It gives you a lot of multicolored candy pops, and a lot of purple candy pops. That's really handy. I'm basically going to use my reds here and turn them into whatever here. So this is a queen candy pop. I don't know if you've seen these before, but you chuck your red into it, takes 1 Pikmin, and produces 10 seeds from it. So here you can actually build up your, like, objective Pikmin numbers quite well here. Or you can throw your dudes off the end. That's pretty cool. But basically, yeah, to take full advantage of the candy pops on here, I recommend use the queens first. Oh, no. Use the queens first, and then start using the purple ones, because basically, as ever, we want to get as many purples as we can. Oh, I meant to throw all these stupid idiot blues I've created into them and actually made some. Because I didn't hold A before throwing. I know it's entirely my fault, but still. I want to avoid cracking these eggs, in case they've got Mitites in it, actually. I want to be ready to fight them, because we are creating quite a lot of leaf Pikmin here, and obviously I want flowers, because flowers are better. Let's turn one of these blues back into reds. Reds are... Well, okay, we've got more blues, so I'll try and purple up all these blues. I don't want blues! Blues are useless down here, and I've got a ton of blues back up on the surface. Well, either way, there's another couple of purple candy pop, but so if I'm careful, I can get rid of almost all of these blues, and the remainder will be useful cannon fodder in the boss fight that is to come. So, we've got 2 more violet candy pops here, so let's use these blues. That's 1, and then... Excellent, that's 2. So, as you can see, we've now got an ass ton of purples, and I'm actually specifically not going to use these purples against the boss because they're so useful. I want to make it out of this cave with a net purple profit, quite frankly, and I will go to extremes in order to do so. It makes the boss fight slower, but not necessarily harder. Right, let's hoover up this. Oh, if I can get, like, come out of this cave with, like, 30, 40 flowered purples, I will be a happy man. And it's giving me a lot of nectar, which is pretty good. There are some more flowers over here as well. Not flowers, eggs. We've got almost all of them anyway. Right, crack that one open. Well, that just tells me this is a rest floor anyway. So we came down here with 84, and we're going back up with 78. We have lost some... We have lost some of every other colour, but the fact is we've made a net purple profit, which makes me feel much better considering what happened last time with Emperor Bulblax in Bulblax Kingdom, so I'm glad to have been able to make up purple numbers a bit, and as I say, I will go to silly extremes to protect them from now on. But here we are done. You can cowardly escape to the surface if we want, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go down and face the boss. This can be a good way to grind purples, except for the fact you've got to really come down here for him, but obviously when you're not collecting treasure, you can just run through floors. This one can be useful because you can get like 30 plus, because the Queen Candy Pod, you can take a couple of Pikmin down here and get 30 purples easily. What does this design look like on the floor? Yes, this is a hard boss, so what are my Pikmin number options? Fortunately, the boss won't start until you start with that thing in the middle, whatever that is. So, let's separate out. Reds, 12, that's pretty decent. What about with these silly blues? 16, and yellows, 26. Good numbers. Wait, did I see some whites in there? Nope. Yes, you little shit. Definitely want to save my special Pikmin. They do not want to take part in this battle. Let's give the old OG Pikmin colours. Cool, so we've got like 53 purples and whites. Oh, that's good. Because I only brought 42 down here, so we definitely profited a bit, and I know we've lost some whites. So, these guys are all just going to hide straight the fuck in this corner. The further away they can stay from this nonsense, the better. Introducing Hard Boss. Fantastic name. So, this bastard, the steam-powered mechanical spider. This is Mana Legs, which is a fantastic name. I'm going to fight him almost exclusively with farted dudes. Throw Pikmin onto him, and you'll do a good bit of damage to him. Watch when he does that. When he throws him off, that means quickly hoover up your Pikmin, get the fuck away from him, and hide behind something. Because he's got a gun. And this can fucking wreck your Pikmin. He usually does 3 salvos, and then the gun goes back in, and you get another chance to wail on his body. So what you're looking for, once again, is that gesture when he throws him off. At that point, you want something between you and him. Fucking balls! God, it's so scary. I hate him. If you're moving, as you see, with farted Pikmin, you're generally all right there. Normally, you can get a piece of, like, rubble between you and him. There, I just wasn't able to, because of the angles. I think we should be okay here. I can get over here while he's still targeting me. Yep, cool. We're fine. Second salvo, and third. Let's fart up and go again. We've done a decent bit of damage to him. He is probably the strongest example in the game of less is more. There we go. Just because if you bring 100 Pikmin against him here, that gun will absolutely wreck them. You'll notice the shots do explode on impact. That makes a concussive wave that will kill Pikmin. It's atrocious. Man at Legs can absolutely rinse you. Good bit of damage there. There we go. Right. He's just... You gotta be careful. But if you are careful, he is an easy boss. But it's not an easy boss, but he's not a complex boss. He has a very simple pattern, and he never really strays from it. The gun is the only thing that can really do you damage, so if you're careful to avoid that, you're fine. Here, we've got ourselves in a good position. He moves around randomly here, and he isn't doing a great deal of damage. There we go. Wonderful. That went really well. I don't think we lost anyone in him, which is a pretty good Man at Legs run. Excellent. And there's our reward. That mechanized monstrosity is no longer functional. An insect and a machine, forming a symbiotic relationship. Life forms here are beyond odd. Initiating area scan. Glass sphere detected. So this one, there are certain dungeons in the game I find this power-up very useful for. Some people really don't like this one. I really do. For one specific dungeon, but for many of them it is still useful. Obviously we know it's power-up because it's the end of a thing, but it also gets us 100 quid. This is the Stellar Orb. If I combine this glass sphere with the synthetic sun I've secretly been developing... What the fuck? What's wrong with the ship? Processing complete. I have manufactured a solar system. This artificial sunlight will blight... The artificial sunlight it emanates, there we go, will brighten underground areas. So if we look around now, we can see its effects. It's as bright as day out here. And for some of the other dungeons of the game, that is really handy. How did the fart last longer on some than others? I don't even know. Either way, all our purples and whites survive, which I'm very happy about. So, back up to the surface we go, and I believe we've actually got a few corpses we can potentially hoover up. Oh, I spat right in the microphone there. Hoover up at the end of the day on the surface. Oh, so much cash. Look at that. We raped in... Wow, 1,400. That's brilliant. 22 Pikmin lost. Not great, not terrible. But we did make a... I think that's total number of loss, like gross. Because net, we only lost about 6 because we made a fair few back at the bottom. That's the nice thing about the Subterranean Complex. Sure, hard work is reward, and if you protect purple... I didn't need to bring as many purples as I did, but if you protect them anyway, you can seriously make up the purple numbers in that one. Right. So, we've got a few things to do here at the end of the day. We've got some time left. Oh, look at that. 80% of the debt recovered. We're getting there. So, let's get everyone here, and let's slap everyone back in. I think most of my whites actually survived that ordeal. How many purples are we on to now, then, total? Oh, 39. That's good. We're getting towards that 1,000 that we need. So, 96 reds total. Oh, blues came out of the game. 110 reds. And what we on for yellows? Yellows are, yeah, certainly my weakest one. Oh, Bud Pikmin. I don't want Bud Pikmin. That's nonsense. Oh, well, this happens. Right, let's stop looking for a second and we'll try and get this 10 that isn't there. Cool. Right, then we're not going to get that 10 which isn't there because it's not there. I guess we can go and try and bring back some of those corpses that I set aside for earlier. Are we even going to have time? Maybe. Let's find out. Bud Pikmin are just weird. You only get them when you just haven't left Pikmin in the ground long enough. They're bizarre and make me uncomfortable. Anyway, speed her on, please. Let's try and reclaim some corpses in the final few minutes of the day. Oh, my corpses are gone! Oh, no! Oh. I stashed them there and everything. I suppose we have been under that ground for nearly an hour at this point, so I suppose the game's just like, no, you've had enough. Right, does this at least change colour? It does. Right, if we can time this nicely so it's on yellow. There we go. That'll at least be some nice thick, what's it called for us? Pikmin numbers. I suppose actually we can take advantage of a fair few of these. Don't take it to the yellows, you blithering idiots. There we go. Come on. Haven't got all day. Quite literally, we have got all day, but all day isn't going to last very much longer, which is, I guess, slightly different. And yellow, there we go. Alright, you guys go on, grab that. And the rest of you come with me. I believe there's a fiver over here, which could be worth getting towards the end of the day. Well, either way, this is just building up yellow numbers, so I'll see you in space. Alright, let's see what the day's damage is. I think we're pretty good. I built like 20 or 30 yellows at the end, which is nice. A lot of items, especially including those two I got on the overworld right at the beginning of 2 episodes ago, which is pretty nice. The pink Menace and the thing. So that's 1,600 for a day's work. That's a pretty good day. So those numbers are pretty good. So we lost 10 reds. I can take 10 reds. We made up 30 yellows in total. We lost 2 blues, but fuck blues. 2 whites is not great, not terrible, but that 13 purples is a great gain. Yeah, I lost some to explosion, most to battle. Still not had a single Pikmin lost to sunset, which is kind of nice. 1 to fire, that's embarrassing. 3 to water, also embarrassing. Electricity explosion. None to poison, which is great as well. Cool. Let's have our update from the President. Bolamar, you'll soon be promoted to manager. Only a small bit of debt remains. You've done great. As I have it, as have I. No one dodges debt collectors like me. I'm a pro. So I think we perhaps got time for a little bit of reading to finish up the episode. Perhaps it'll be a longer one. Oh well. Oh, look at that. Subterranean Complex complete as well. 16 treasures. That's pretty good. Right, what have we got to read? So we've got the hairy Bulborb, which we noticed if we pick carrots at it, it comes to life and starts eating, and I guess we can't actually do enough damage for it to lose its hair. But yeah, Oculus Kajiami follicus. Grubdog family. This subspecies of grubdog has a thick coat of soft white fur that obscure its abdominal markings. The fur also warms its vital organs, making the species well adapted to colder climates. However, its hair follicles are surprisingly frail, which can result in immediate hair loss if the creature is surprised. We've got our new Watery Blowhog, Suslugigens. That's a weird name. Blowhog family, a variant subspecies of the fiery blowhog. The watery blowhog lacks several of the dominant genes necessary for the production of fire-producing catalysts, and thus expels jets of the non-flammable liquid. This subspecies appears to have only recently evolved. However, the hereditary traits of this variant are dominant and highly robust, so its population is rapidly increasing. But it said it lacks the dominant genes, which means it's recessive, but then it becomes dominant. I guess it could have secondarily developed dominance. The genetics of that are slightly off, but I'll allow it. Decorated cannon beetle larva, we've seen these for the first time now. Granitus decorum. This creature is the larval form of a cannon beetle variant known for a diet consisting entirely of eating stones. The decorated cannon beetle favours stones with a high iron content, which contributes to its brilliant red torso. Makes sense. The stones these creatures launch are wrapped in a powerful magnetic field, which causes the stones to stray from their launch trajectory when they encounter other objects with high metal content, such as spacesuits. Extreme caution is recommended for explorers wearing steel-plated armor in close proximity to these fierce creatures. So that's why their shots home in. Makes sense. This hideous freak. God, we didn't get much of a time today to look into it or how it looks, but God, it's like a waddling fish thing with a cannon and a metal face. It's awful, everything about it. Megaplod calibursi. Megaplod is fantastic. This beastly predator's aggressive ejection of high-speed projectiles makes it one of the most fearsome creatures in the ecosystem. Agreed. Its body seems to comprise of both biological and mechanical components and represents one of the most evolutionarily advanced specimens ever observed. The chamber within its torso gives it its rapid-fire biopellet launch capabilities. What appears to be a tail fin is actually the base of its counterweight and ammunition cylinder, so immobilizing this appendage will prevent the Groink from attacking, at least in theory. Confirmation of this suspicion remains elusive, as nobody has volunteered to test it. Yeah, you can get from the back, but if you ever are engaging a Gatling Groink in single combat like that, don't just burp on it. If you can't do that, then maybe do that. Maybe attack it from the rear, but too much of a risk, quite frankly. That's what this one's called, the Bumbling Snitchbug. Scarpania dufini. That's a funny name. Scarpinid family. This is a variety of snitchbug. Its most interesting characteristic is that it likes to snitch leaders. Yet barring wanton carelessness or incompetent, leaders are not easily captured. Any leader who is caught by this creature is clearly an idiot, which is why this creature is also known as the exposing snitchbug. There are several known varieties of snitchbugs, but research has stagnated despite it being such an interesting species. This bugger, the Careening Dirigibug, Flotilium circus maximus. Dirigibug family. This creature floats effortlessly through the air using gas-filled balloons. Both its appearance and its nature are antagonistic. It is also the only variant of its species in this ecosystem. It may be best to consider the possibility that it somehow wandered into this ecosystem from an entirely alien one. It does look like alien. It looks like a Dirigibug, but I guess it's not. No, not Dirigibug. Looks like a Snitchbug. Positive proof does not exist for this point, but that is how this creature is currently classified. Got a couple of new Dweevils. The Munged Dweevil, Mandarachnia pungitus. The Munged Dweevil is one of the members of an insect family known for mimicking objects by carrying them on their backs. These insects often carry the carcasses of other life forms on their backs, but apparently this is not for the purpose of transporting them as food, but instead is another example of their mimic behaviour. The Munged Dweevil produces two different chemical compounds within its body which form poisonous gas when mixed and expelled. And again, Bombardier Beetle is what comes to mind in real life. This gas is only used for self-defense. Then we have everyone's favourite Volatile Dweevil. Can I set it off by hitting it with things on this? I guess it wanders around, but it's not going to... Oh no, it's just going to blow up. We're just going to watch it die. Oh yeah, there it goes. I wonder if it's going to drop another one or not. But yeah, this is Mandarachnia explodus! Makes sense. The Volatile Dweevil is a member of an insect family known for mimicking objects, blah 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 blah. Exhibits the most unusual characteristics whereby the creature's behavioural patterns actually change based upon the object the creature carries on its back. The Volatile Dweevil has one of the most potent attacks of all species of the Dweevil family due to its habit of carrying explosive devices. Approach with caution and or body armour. Quite right too. And then we have a glow stem. These are kind of cool because they look like LEDs stuck into the ground, but they're actually like glowing plants, but I never really look at plants one because they're less interesting to me. And finally the boss, Man at Legs. A fantastic name. We'll just see it going up this way. But I guess it only does its gun attack when it has Pikmin actually grappling onto it. It won't actually gun down these things necessarily. Let's see. Nah, it's just going to do that indefinitely. So, this is Man at Legs, Pseudorachnia navaronia, as in Guns of the Navarone. This species of the arachnid family fuses with machinery at a crucial point in the maturation process, giving it the ability to fire energy bursts from the launcher beneath its orbular torso. However, the Man at Legs itself is not in control of this weapon. Instead, the mechanical portions of the structure appear to be automatically acquired when it is attacking and attack targets. The Man at Legs has a gentle disposition and as a member of the arachnoid species it has no natural enemies. It is particularly difficult to understand why this species would develop such awesome offensive capabilities, leading to rumours among the scientific community that it was the machinery that approached the arachnoid and proposed the symbiotic relationship. Very strange. Well, we've got a couple of treasures to read. The Spiny Alien treat. The Valley of Repose is blanketed with a layer of snow. Despite this, here and there, plants are sprouting out of the snow. I don't know how much longer the snow will last. It seems like it's getting warmer every day. I wish our frosty financial predicament would warm up a bit. You may have noticed that on the visualizer, stuff tends to be clustered together and coloured in the same way. The items do come in sets on this, and those sets mean something once we get later in the game. For now, you can see almost everything we got in that dungeon has all been grouped together because they're all parts of a relatively small number of sets. The mystical disc. There's a strange design on this metallic platter. It gives me mystical chills. Maybe living beings were never meant to comprehend its true meaning. The network Mainbrain. According to my research, this is an acoustic interference motherboard. I should install it on the ship. It might shut him up for a while. Then again, if it learned to override the hardware, it might become even more surly than it is now. The Indomitable CPU. This appears to be some kind of hyper-advanced light-refracting computer component. Maybe I can use it to upgrade the ship with an imagination. The vacuum processor. We recently found all sorts of mechanical parts scattered around a cave. The walls and floor were constructed of solid steel. Maybe it was once a great military fortress. I decided to name it the Subterranean Complex. The Space Wave Receiver. This receiver intercepts harmful radiation from outer space. It's a highly dangerous piece of machinery that should be handled with extreme caution. Now that I think about it, the Pikmin looked a little dazed while they carried it. The Nouveau table. I found numerous objects that appear to be machine parts, but I have no idea what they do. The ship wants to sell them all to art collectors as modern alien art and charge a fortune for them. I think he may be onto something. The Superstrong Stabilizer. Several artifacts like this were sitting in the hole I explored today. The temperature inside the cave was perilously low, and the treasures were freezing to the touch. I felt sorry for the Pikmin that had to carry them. Afterwards, their little hands looked numb. Aww. The Spirit Flogger. For the long time now, I've just been whiling away my life like a sprocket in a machine. Sometimes I just stop and wonder, am I happy with my life? I can't start thinking like that. I must concentrate on my mission. The Omega Flywheel. Collecting all these machine parts reminds me of that time I crash-landed on this planet. The last time I was here, the crash scattered 30 of my ship's most crucial components. I had to frantically collect all of them before my life support systems failed. I wonder what kind of machine this flywheel is from. The Repair Juggernaut. This object must have been manufactured long ago by some kind of machine. Back then, they didn't have the fun toys kids have these days. My son is a video game addict, but I'm terrible at them. He teases me about it all the time. Wait, I've got it! Louis Young, he must be a video game wizard. He can give me some hot tips. The Adamantine Girdle. There appears to be a link between the treasures we found in the underground structure. We found several machine parts that fit together. The parts may provide a clue as to the original function of the area. The Furious Adhesive. Great name. My analysis concluded that this object possesses powerful adhesive abilities. Could there possibly be anything else this sticky? It's unlikely, but the universe is a big place. The Exhausted Superstick. This material is ideal for patching cracks in spacecraft armor. Too bad we only got one of these because the ship sure has a lot of holes. The Pink Menace. I could never say this within earshot of the ship, but years of hard use have taken their toll. For one thing, the thermostat is broken. The temperature in the cockpit can fluctuate wildly between sweltering heat and frigid cold. The humid heat is awful, but the bone-chilling cold is even worse. Looking at this heartwarming gem gives me the strength to endure the elements. The Coiled Launcher. I tried flying this thing once, but it moved too rapidly and I contracted vertigo. Maybe it could be used as some kind of amusement ride. The young'uns would love it. However, I don't think I'll ever ride it again. And finally, I think... Oh no, not quite. The Perfect Container. During my decades of service in the transportation company, I saw all manner of weird and wonderful containers, but never one like this. I shall call it the Perfect Container. And I guess finally down here is, yes, the Stellar Orb. This technology behind this impressive gadget is totally unknown to my people. It appears to replicate the intense solar beams of the sun. Space exploration has given me a ghostly pallor. Maybe I'll use this orb to catch a few rays. And we'll hold it there. As ever, it's been a longer episode due to reading, but I'm okay with it. Thank you very much for watching. We've finished our delve to the bottom of the Subterranean Complex. We've got the Stellar Orb. Next episode... Oh, I think we're actually going to probably go back to the Perplexing Pool next episode. We got a fun blue Pikmin watery themed dungeon to do. So that should be a good one. Hope you'll join me then. Thank you very much, and good day.